Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. Right, in this one we are pulling out the little beers that I picked up the other day, the Spanish ones. Pardon me, a little bit of gas because I've just finished off a beer, as it happens. And what we are looking at is the Keler Donostia 1872. Spanish Keler beer, I am led to believe. I've looked online. I'm pretty certain it's just a Keler beer. It's in a 330ml can. It's coming in at 7%. And in my video where I said I picked these beers up, I think I said it was $6.99 for 6. They're actually $7.99 for 6. So we might actually be looking at £1.30, because I remember Kevin Nelson told me it was £1.16. Let me try and work it out. 7.80, just over. You're looking at about, what, £1.33, something like that. Is it £1.33? Yeah, $3.99. Yeah, you're looking at £1.33 a can. So yeah, a Spanish Keler beer, very interesting. Apparently, the main brewer, or the head brewer back in the day, was German. He applied his trade in Strasbourg and Paris. And on his way to the USA, he stopped at San Sebastian. And that was it. He stayed there and they brewed this beer. And I believe, I could be wrong, this is the only beer that is left that they brew now. But I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. So nice artwork. It looks very sort of traditional and all that lot. I do like that. I'm going to do 2 cans, because why not? So it's a big beer, 6%. Let's give it a go. There we go, 2 cans there. Now I'm going to go with a nice sort of like Stein, Lowenbrau Stein, if you like. Yeah, it ain't Spanish, but who gives a shit? So let's give it a go. It's a Keler beer. I'd expect it to be hazy, but this ain't looking very hazy. But I could be wrong. Like I say, I'm not. It doesn't actually say. It just says, you know, Keler. That's kind of like the importer as well, or something. But it uses extra malt and corn, and not so many hops. So it's sort of like creamier and more full-bodied, and with a gentle bitterness. So beer in a glass. There we go. It's quite sort of. It's a deep amber looking beer, isn't it? The glass is nucleated. Bubbles are going wild in there, as you can see. It's a Spanish beer, which doesn't surprise me that it's fizzy as well. We've got about a 2 finger, and it's quite a spacious sort of head. So, there's a bit left in the 1 can. Let's try and give it a swirl. And we'll have a sniffy. Malt and corn, you get that on the nose. Not a lot else going on. A little bit of a hop aroma in there. If I'm honest, it smells a little bit nasty to me. There's a little bit of a smell in there that reminds me of, I wouldn't say this, it reminds me of some other beers that I've had that didn't really appeal to me personally. But the only way we're going to find out is having a taste. So Keler Donostia, I should say, 1872 from Lidl, 6 cans, 6%, £7.99. Let's dive in, give it a go. Cheers. I'm in 2 minds with it. I did start reviewing the other one, and I don't know, I just couldn't get my head around it, doing my head, like, you know, sometimes things just go wrong. So I deleted it. But again, there's going to be bits in this that I'm probably going to say in that review when I finally get around to doing it again. But we'll start off with this. So, it's got to be said, very smooth, very soft. It's got a beautiful mouthfeel to it. Body, it's a nice body. There's nothing wrong with the body of this beer. It's not massively weighty. Now, is that because it's a Spanish beer? Because it has very much the feel of a Spanish beer, in all honesty. We'll try and get the rest of the can in there. Very much has the feel of a Spanish beer. It even tastes like some other Spanish beers I've had. I think it's brewed by, I think they're owned by Dam, SA Dam or Dam SA, however, whichever way around it is. They do a Strella. I swear it's got a feel of a Strella in this. But yeah, body's probably kind of good for a Spanish beer compared to a German beer. The body isn't very good, but it's a nice body. It's a drinkable body. The mouthfeel is really nice, to be honest. It's really smooth to drink. Carbonation isn't too much. Again, I suppose for sort of something like a Spanish beer, it's very sort of minimal carbonation to what they're used to sort of drinking. On the taste, malty, sweet, a little bit of syrupiness. Along the lines, that sort of syrupiness that you might get from, say, an Oktoberfest beer, something like that. Back end, you sort of get the corn in there, but in the middle, if you like. But when everything else has gone, you really sort of get that sort of corn sort of taste on the back end, which isn't particularly unpleasant, excuse me. But it does have that typical Spanish lager feel to it. And would I be harsh in saying, well, that's not good? Or the fact that it's a Spanish beer, you've got to expect it to have certain traits of beer that you get in Spain, to be honest, doesn't it? You know, what do I think of it? Well, I actually think a lot of people, or think, not think, I actually think a lot of people may well like this. I'm not necessarily against it. Probably for a Spanish beer, it's probably, you know, it's probably a decent beer. I'm certain this is the only beer left now that they brew. Can't remember if I said that before. Smooth, nice mouthfeel, malty, no real bitterness in there, but again it just has that malty feel of every other Spanish beer that I've drunk, if I'm honest. It's nice enough. It's not going to blow your mind. It will probably sell a few. I think it's worth picking up. Obviously we all have our own tastes and like different things and this, that and the other. If you like Spanish beer, if you're partial to some Spanish lagers and that, I think this will go down a treat for you. Now, I'm personally not, you know, along with sort of like Italian lagers, Spanish lagers, Italian lagers, they're not the sort of beers that I gravitate to. But this isn't too bad. Will I drink the 6 cans? I'll certainly manage them easy enough. But it's not going to set me world alight. It's not going to be one of them that I'll go to Spain and go, oh, I must buy some of that. It's none of that. 6%, by the way, because I'm chatting shit. 6%. Let's make sure I get all the beer out the can into my glass. 6% is nowhere, if I'm honest. It really is nowhere. It certainly drinks very well for a 6% beer. It's dangerously drinkable for 6%. Yeah, it is a little bit sweet, like I say. Maybe a touch of syrupiness. But that really is quite subtle for me. It's almost got that, maybe that glucose kind of feel to it, I would say. But it's minimal. And it still drinks like, you know, it doesn't feel like it's been ramped up with lots of sugar and this, that and the other, or overpowered by it. So it still makes it very drinkable. So for me, yeah, Keller Donostia 1872. Like I say, I'm guessing it's a Keller beer. It doesn't officially sort of say it's a Keller beer online, but I'm kind of guessing that. If you know any better, tell me. But what's it like? It's all right. I think it will appeal to an awful lot of people. I'll drink it. It's not the best thing going out there, but it's certainly not the worst. It's a drinkable enough beer. 6%, 6 cans, $7.99. All right, you know, not everyone are big drinkers, are they? That may well do, you know, a 6-pack of that may well do some people at night, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you can stop indoors and have a good old session on $7.99, knock your socks off. So knock your socks off, I don't know. You know what the saying is, don't you? If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Shit show of a review. 12 minutes in. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.